Welcome to the Built from Day One, maybe. I mean, we don't even know our names anymore. We're probably going to change it. But here we are. Welcome to the Built from Day One show. After another one game under 500 Timberwolves win.
Yeah, on repeat.
It is on repeat, and I think
Mhm.
that's what the whole season's going to be. But an expected win and a game that we should have won, which thankfully we did, because honestly, if we didn't, I was going to be in shambles. But the Timberwolves win 126 to 106 against the depleted Utah Jazz, who even lost a player in the game, in Ingles, and that is going to be a rough blow for their team. But we're at 500 again. We're 25 and 25. That's satisfying. So there we go.
Yeah, the start of the game didn't give me any hopes. I was kind of wondering if we were going to score in the game altogether, and yeah, I mean, all 3,000 of you in Target Center must have felt that needle drop, and that was like cat's shoe, right? So like, I don't know. It started off really slow. It didn't seem like anyone really cared on either team, and like Conley kind of brought it a little bit for the Jazz early, and then Beasley hit a three. Beasley hit a pass to Vando for a dunk. And it seemed like, all right, flame on. Um, we had such a issue distributing and kind of finding a flow on offense, but we kind of got into a rhythm midway through that first half, and we ended the half poorly. What do we see on repeat at halftime? After halftime, we see monumental collapses. We see adjustments not syncing. We see gears turning, but passes going under the under the legs and between and over the head, right? So we don't see any adjustments from our team. And I felt like the difference in this game was that third quarter where we were passing the ball. We had Cat understand his role, pick it up in the second half and say, take it over for us, please. And really just kind of took us home right then and there. And then it was really cool to see us keeping the lead. Like it got a little close. It got to 16, and with 6 minutes left to go, 16 points isn't anything.
That's a tie
But
game.
it's basically a tie game. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, it was a fun night. Like you're right, the game started off rough, and I'm glad that I wasn't in my seat yet. I was
Mm-hmm.
actually grabbing concessions at that moment. But
Nice. What is your concessions of choice?
I get pretty basic. I don't get anything crazy. I just get fries and a drink. But they
You
have
get a
this.
Big Mac with fries?
No, they have this Nashville hot place now that's got
Oh.
fries. And they're just like regular fries, but they're better than the basic fries that you can get at the other ones. So shout out Nashville Coop or whatever it's called. Um, but
Cool.
I missed those first 6 points of the game for the Jazz. I could hear the crowd and their silence, which was kind of scary because I'm like, it's like that meme of I don't even know who it is walking into like a burning room. That's what I felt like walking to my seat because we were down 6-0.
Oh yeah.
So that didn't feel great, but yeah, you're right. I mean, seeing Towns kind of take over in that third, fourth quarter area where we have struggled,
Yeah.
and where he has struggled, um, is super exciting and something that I have been yearning for I don't know years. Since we've seen not like even when Cat was a rookie, he didn't like or younger. We liked a lot of his play better than we have so far this season,
Yeah.
but he still wasn't like the player that was going to like take over a game and dominate and win the game. Obviously, I mean we were finishing seasons like 16 and 66, but
Yeah.
tonight was a night where it's like this is the Towns that we need to be our superstar, and he showed up.
Yeah.
It was exciting to see, and obviously he got a triple double. I don't know if he's ever had. He must have had at least one triple double before, right?
He had one just early on in his career.
Okay.
I don't remember the game or like the date or anything, but it was pretty early on in his
Mm-hmm.
career. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is just a fun game, and I was nervous when I saw
Yeah.
Jordan McLaughlin starting and
Yeah.
Beasley in there too.
Yeah.
But and I mean, obviously the night is going to be Karl Anthony Towns, and somewhat Anthony Edwards, even though he had a very minimal role, but like he still played pretty good, and I thought we saw a little bit more of the defense that he was showing early on in the season tonight. He was very active in the first half, kind of fell off in the second half, um, but the other player that probably won't get talked about much tonight, well, a little bit, will be Jaden McDaniels. I mean, Jaden played like crazy tonight. He still had his Jaden moments of like turnovers and just kind of craziness and like whatever. But
Yeah.
but I mean, he scored so many points. he was dunking on people. Like it was insane to watch. It felt like we were watching like a brand new Jaden, you know?
Yeah. So the atmosphere in the Target Center sucked. What were some things that they did to try to hype up the crowd?
Funny enough that you should say this because I think I'm going to have a different take than everybody at home feels like.
Oh,
There were less people, but I wouldn't say that it was like so much less people than I've seen at the games. You know, like the
yeah,
lower bowl, definitely. I don't think a lot of. I mean, a lot of people. I mean, I won't generalize people, so I won't even go down that same thought process that I was about to say. But you know, there's a lot of like empty seats in the lower bowl, but the upper bowl was pretty full still. And
cool.
honestly, there have been games where it's been packed and the crowd has been less engaged than they were tonight. Tonight,
Yeah,
especially once we start going on a run like third and fourth quarter, the crowd was into it and they were pretty loud in the stadium, I would say. Um, but obviously, it is a lesser number. I'd be curious to know what the actual attendance was because I always look at the crowd and think that there's only like 3,000 people there, and then they tell me it's like 12,000 for somehow. I'm sure they're just fudging numbers, but still, I'd be curious because I actually thought that tonight it wasn't as bad as I didn't know what to expect. I guess I expected less attendance, but like me personally, I felt and I'm in a minority here, but I felt much more comfortable going to the game tonight knowing that they had the vaccine mandate or a negative test. I think somebody just asked that in the
yeah,
yep, you could show a negative test. I used the Docket app, and I just showed it to
right.
them, and they gave me a stamp on my wrist. I don't know what purpose that does, but because they had to check it when I got in, so nobody's gonna check it later. But also they could just check my Docket app. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
But no, I mean it was a really easy process, and I felt a lot better being there because like other games, people are like not wearing their mask throughout the game, and I'm like, I have no idea if you're vaccinated, if you're negative test or anything, and obviously with any of these things people can fake them, but like I don't think people are willing that dedicated to the Timberwolves that
for
they're
Sunday night matinee.
that they're like, you know what, I'm gonna fake a COVID test, I'm gonna buy a ticket to go to Target Center and
Yeah,
watch the
yeah.
Timberwolves play a depleted Jazz team. Like I'm like,
I don't know.
I honestly this is probably the most safe environment I'll have at a sporting venue. So
Yep.
no, I overall though I feel safer going to that kind of a game. So it was nice. I like it.
Cool. Thank you for that breakdown. It feels like those fries might be an incentive for those kind of players, those kind of people, right? So if it's not just the game itself, cool. I want to commend the before we even really get started,
Yeah.
the Discord, the group that
Yes.
we have built over these that you guys have built over the last few months. It was a pop-in game thread, and I had a blast watching the game, and it felt like I was watching a game with people like side by side, like laughing and screaming and pointing and I don't know, like memeing with everyone else. It was a good time, and more of that, please. Loved everyone there. GBX, shout out to you for kind of helping out with the Discord a little bit too, with like popping a nitro. That was cool. Popping a pill, and also giving us a boost for a couple months or so, and then also kind of doing a little breakdown for some preemptive tier list stuff, which was cool to see. On the game front, it felt like the game had no energy, and I thought that like halftime performance by those kids, man, doing the little dances, the swinging of their feet, and then Cat coming to play in the third quarter just really knocked the house down. Like I felt the energy in that third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember a Cat game this significant. Like do your business, get to work, go down low, do all the things you can do. That was so just like easy for him. It felt so easy for him tonight, and he didn't look the part in that first half, and I was a little worried that he didn't come to play like 8 to 11 points or something in that first half, but he just exploded in the third. And I don't think I remember a game where he had this many points in a row. He got like 18 or 20 points in a row.
It was insane. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I to piggyback quickly off of your Discord point, 100%. I thought that was so cool to see. If you're watching this back on the VOD, look at our Twitter. We've got the Discord posted there. Maybe I should be putting the Discord in the YouTube thing. Anyways,
Yeah, sure.
thought in my head I had to say it. Yes, back to Towns. Oh no, one last shout out. The big boy in the Discord did an over under thing too, which
that was
pretty
sweet.
fun. Yeah, so
Thank
it's
you
kind
for
of like
that.
a little
Yep.
game that we can do, a little over under game going. into the game. So, but yes, Towns, he did score like I don't know, it was 16, 18 points in a row or something like that.
Yeah. And
And
it was everywhere. It was a putback dunk. It was kind of a layups. It was a couple and one over Whiteside. It was a couple of threes, and step back threes. There was like the little shimmy bullshit.
yeah,
And it was like everything. It was awesome.
yeah, the shimmy. People in the crowd went crazy for that. They were like, "Oh, he shimmied, he shimmied." I think, I think it was more of him setting, but sure, we can go with a shimmy. But yeah, the thing that I will say about Towns, and we'll get, I guess, a little bit more very shortly into the tier list, and talk about him. But the thing that I noticed about him, other than obviously just the stats and the production and the efficiency tonight, which I mean, like everything was on for him tonight. His demeanor and the way he went about it tonight was exactly what I wanted. He had triple double numbers going into the second half, and it was like, sure, the last little like assist that he was trying, he was very
doing
much trying to get that the 10th assist, which
it's
that's
good.
different.
It's all good.
That's different. Yep. But like I was expecting when we had those kind of numbers at the half, like suddenly Towns is going to come out and not shoot at all and just pass everything and like try to do like behind the back, all this fancy stuff. And we didn't really see that. I mean, we did see one little quick swirl through the legs. He just has. It's like
he had to do it. He had to do it.
Yep. He did do a behind the back pass, but it was efficient.
It was a good one,
and it was a great pass. He had one kind of sling pass over to Beasley on the other side, or maybe it was Ant. I can't remember, but they made a three.
Yeah.
This was like the game where Towns can, I mean, come back at naysayers like us and be like, "This is my game." Given obviously this is different than he plays normally, but but this is what we want, and I'm not expecting a triple-double, but like I think his effectiveness tonight showed in the numbers that the stats show for once. So, but yeah.
Yeah, great point. The stats show. It was a fun game. There were some moments of stress. There was a moments of like, oh, there's a wide open three. Here and there, but it wasn't like on back-to-back plays. It wasn't anything that was egregious. And also, I just want to say shout out to the refs for kind of like letting the game just happen and not be taking over the game too. Like I think we get a bad rep sometimes for over fouling, over committing, hard fouling, or whatever it is. Everyone gets in foul trouble and stuff like that. Also, but we just never get the benefit of the whistle. This felt very even, if not like a little favored our side. And it's like oh, it felt great to finally have a game where it's like the refs aren't like against us. The whistles aren't going our way, or the whistles are going our way, and it's just kind of I'm able to watch the game and just enjoy the game. Those take fouls kill me. But like everything else was just like very, very enjoyable experience.
Yeah, and that was one thing. Before we get into the tier list, the one thing I want to say is that I feel like the NBA has to go back and maybe rewrite the clear path rule, because it is so frustrating. And I'm not just saying this because of a Timberwolves thing tonight. Just in general, that is not fun to watch these teams stop fast breaks by just slapping somebody's arm just because they're the last line of defense. Like that is not what I want to see as a fan. I'm sure that's not what the players, I'm sure the fouling player doesn't even want to do that, other than the fact that they're just like saving their team from getting scored on. It's just annoying to watch, and I feel like if that was taken out of the game somehow, it would be an enjoyable product. Alley-oops, dunks, wide open threes, all of it, that just gets the crowd into it. That would be fun. But
I feel like even it's like a time sink. It's like not only what are you doing, NBA? It's like this is a 5-minute delay of the game to like review a fucking hit of a wrist.
Yeah.
Where was he angled? And then like they gave us some like play-by-play breakdown. It's like his shoulder was like 3 inches in front of Ant's like nostrils. So it's like, okay, great, thanks, my friend.
Yeah.
Like I don't want any of that. I don't want this to be like football. I want this to be even like just free flowing. Anyways, yeah, so we're going to be very positive in this game and report, because we won by 20. We kind of kicked their ass, and had it not been for like Bojan Bogdanovich's like heroics late in that third, or kind of like getting that lead, kind of curtailing a potential blowout, like we would have had this game from the onset. It's just I haven't seen a game this, like the blend of talent that was on the court, like would have matched a lower production, lower effort, lower kind of energy, kind of like output or whatever. And it was really cool to see Taurean Prince, Jaden McDaniels, Jordan McLaughlin, the others that never get talked about, always get kind of bitched at, and always be like, let's sit you on the bench, please, because you're not producing. Produce like kings tonight.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, this looked like the depth that we need going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
We really would need players like this to step up. We need the Jake Lamans to come in for 30 seconds and score.
We need them.
But no, this was a very surprising game for some of these players that we needed tonight because we were down as well. It was, I guess, I'm prefacing this as like Utah was hurt. We were also hurt. We just had more star power and more talent on the floor. Should have won and did win. So
yeah, I mean, it was great by Dave Benz and Jim Peterson talking about like how when we played them last, like we were out with injuries and they didn't care. They just took care of business, and like vice versa. Like no one cares. It's like it sucks for us as fans to watch our team be less than, and the team as a whole is less than. But the sum is greater than the parts, right? In a lot of ways. So like we just took care of business, and like we shouldn't be like, oh, we beat them in asterisk because they didn't have Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. You know what I really like to see? Karl-Anthony Towns take it to the fucking rim, like on succession because they didn't have Rudy Gobert. Like take advantage of every matchup.
Yeah.
Don't wait for like a fucking quadruple team to make your move.
Yes, 100%. All right, we're at the tier list, but before we get into the tier list is brought to you tonight.
Whoa.
By the like button.
Yeah, like it.
Make sure you like the stream. I appreciate it. I know most of you probably already have, but anyways, so tonight's gonna be a little different. Me and Ashwin are gonna be doing our same grading like we always do. We'll do a 3-2-1 grade. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players in tonight. However, like we mentioned earlier, JBX did a little extra credit in the Discord. Shout out the Discord. The sub button is sponsored by the Discord. He went ahead and we've got like the Discord basically graded and did the A1, A, B, like they did the tier list for them, and we're going to kind of compare ours and the Discords. But feel free to still participate in chat. Obviously, that's going to show up here in this little box next to us.
Yeah. Before we do the tier list, though, like as you did earlier, like the big boys over unders, do you want to just kind of go over them quickly?
Yeah.
The big boy had Karl-Anthony Towns going over 4 assists. We had more than half the Discord say yes. We had Vando going under 9.5 rebounds, which whatever. This wasn't the Vando game that we needed or had to have, but like he produced in spades in the moments that he could. We had Ant going. Wait, did he go under? Shiz. I'm just noticing.
Because I got it.
He went under. Yeah, he got 9. Yeah. We had Ant go under 22.5 points, which majority of us said that he'd go over because we're just, bringing it with confidence. And the team, how many turnovers did Utah have? They had 18.
Yeah.
And not a whole lot of us said that we would be forcing more than 16.5.
I saw that number of 16.5 and I was like, no way. And sure enough, I look up at like the third quarter or fourth quarter or something, and I was like, wait, we have 18? I was like, what are we talking about? See, there's the slogan.
Yeah.
But hey, Frank in the chat, gassing up Ashwin.
Yeah, I'm gassed.
Nice. Welcome, Frank. But yes, I love that. We got to do this. C&D show just hit me up and said, how do we get on this show?
Yeah. Just join us.
Join
the Discord. Yeah. And DM us. Yeah. We need DMs. We need attention.
We will definitely, if you join our Discord, we will get you in the show somehow. We'll add 2 more faces if we need to. Yeah. Or just microphones, whatever it be. We're ready.
Yeah, we'll put you guys right in Wancho tier.
Yes, but they were
squares on Wancho tier.
I think they were behind me at the game tonight.
I saw that tweet. That's a little creepy, huh?
They were. I mean, the picture they posted was exactly where I was. So,
funny.
I was like scared to look over my shoulder because I don't know. Yeah. I'm just antisocial. But
oh my god, you were with celebrities.
I was sitting at the game by myself.
Yeah. By yourself this time.
Yeah, I just go to the games if nobody else can go. So
yeah.
Anyways,
let's go. Tier list time.
Why are we mimicking each other? But All right. First up, Wancho, Glenn Taylor here.
Wow, what a
It
terrible performance
was
by
a
him tonight.
pretty terrible game by
Just
Wancho.
I couldn't even see him on the court. It was that bad.
It was that bad. All
Make your
right.
presence felt, man.
First up, let's start with probably a pretty good one in Baby Mac. All
He
right.
got the start tonight.
He did get the start, and I was very nervous.
12 points,
Yeah.
4 steals, 4 assists, 5 for 6 from the field, 2 for 2 for 3. Are you ready for a grade?
I am ready for a grade. All right. 3,
Yeah.
2, 1.
A?
Yes.
Yeah. High five. I don't know where that would reach you, J-Mac. I don't know if you're my height or a little bit taller, but yeah, that was pretty cool. We are ball bros for life. Way to return to the max. Both max, really. Like, it's cool to see them perform. And I felt like it didn't make any sense whatsoever that he was starting, other than the fact that Jalen Noel had kind of a dud performance last time he started, and to help kind of blend the flow of the offense, keeping like that spark on the bench, right? That spark plug on the bench. So then when Jalen Noel comes in, it's his time, right? So that's what we kind of saw when Jalen Noel came in, because that first 6 minutes were a dud. And I thought that was kind of maybe a mishap on the kind of adjustments of the starting lineup. But anyways, he came back. After that first stint, that was an absolute zero. He came back with those insane plays defensively, like right out of bounds, like inbounds passes. Those threes were solid, and 4 steals. I was not expecting anything from him.
Yeah, I was expecting the worst stat line, like what is it? The Tony Snell stat line of like 20 minutes, 0 points, 0 assists, 0 rebounds, 0 steals, everything, and maybe even like 0 of like 3 shooting or something, just like absolutely nothing. But no, he played great tonight. And not that I'm like, yes, please, let's play more J-Mac, but like, I this is what we need out of him from like a third string perspective. Like, this is an incredible game, which is why it's an A.
Another reason why it's an A, like it's not a B, it's not a C or whatever, is that he killed it by like not playing for the previous like 2 months.
Yeah.
Like, stay ready.
Seriously.
Your time could come at any moment, especially this type of season. Like, it's amazing.
And he's somebody that doesn't get sent back and forth between like the G League and not like Monroe just got called up today, but then he was also called up well injured or something. It was like super weird.
Right.
But like those players can stay warm and go back and forth between like playing an actual game versus just like in practice. And Baby Mac, he was like totally fine tonight. So very acceptable and more than acceptable game from J-Mac tonight. I hope that D'Lo and Pat Bev come back soon, but like if we can get this amount of production out of Baby Mac, I'm down.
Yeah. Great points from the chat. Gerald said, he made Cat's triple dub 3, that final 3, and the final assist. And Frank Barbieri, sorry if I got that wrong, he said, I don't know if it's a good thing that McLaughlin played well, because then Finch gets confidence in him and uses him more, and then he shits the bed again. We saw that on repeat throughout the course of the season. So I think that's a great point, but we'll take them right now. We just need anything. We need to get over 500 so we can get overconfident so we can go below 500.
Exactly. And
win again.
This is the first step in doing that, is getting Baby Mac a good game. All right. Well, actually, you should look it up. What did the Discord rate him today?
Oh, my God. I'm looking it up.
Yes.
You're telling me to do something. What did the Discord say? Bro, 3 people said A.
Nice.
With a couple people saying C. Who? I gotcha.
Yeah. Well, interesting. So we're pretty on pace with the Discord so far. Let's see what you and I feel about Malik Beasley, who had 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 of 12 shooting. That's about it.
Yeah.
Ready?
In a win.
In a win, yes. 3. Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. D.
Yeah. I got nothing to say to you, man. Like, I feel like there was some fun conversation about Beasley in the Discord chat. Basically, like this, like propping him up. Like, we feel bad for you. Like, this sucks that this is happening to you. We were wishing such awesome things for you and your career and your trajectory. Like, from the bottom, from like we keep harping on whatever happened in the off season. like having a really great season, and it just has been an empty season, empty stats, empty stat lines actually.
Yeah.
And like I want to keep the faith that you'll turn it around sometime, but like it's now February, or it's going to be February, and we haven't seen anything other than like a game or two. I'm glad that he got the start just to get some rhythm, like attempts going. And the best thing that he did that wasn't an F tier tonight was that the fact that he made the three to get us on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he did get us jolted, I guess, in the very beginning of the game. But yeah, this is disappointing on many levels. I mean, obviously we won, so I don't really care what anybody's stats are if we're winning. But but like we know we're not getting like top tier defense from Malik Beasley. We also know that Beasley has been like number one in names that pop up in trade discussions with the Timberwolves. So it's very disheartening to see him getting 8 points a game. I don't even know what his average is. It's probably higher than that. But I mean, like he's not performing to the level that we were hopeful for. I mean, this is kind of, not good to the player, but like if we were going to trade him, like obviously we want him to be performing better than he is, because sure he's got a team friendly contract if he's playing well, but if he's not playing well, he's taking up 12 shots and only making 3 of them. So it sucks, but we won, so I'm not gonna go too crazy on him tonight. But I think Jake Erickson in the chat makes a good point. He's kind of the owner of the D tier. He has been D many times this year. So disappointing, and I guess I still do have that faith in him, and I hope that comes near the end of the season going into the playoffs, because obviously we could seriously use a streaking Malik Beasley going into the playoffs. That would, change everything for this team.
Totally.
But yeah.
It was funny that it was brought up in the broadcast. This could be a potential 3-6 matchup. This could be, the first round matchup we get if we kind of peak at the right time and get to the 6th seed and we kind of surpass the play-in series. What are our chances? Our chances look as good as they have been when we're all fully healthy, mano a mano, or is Beasley going to have to be the X factor that we need to basically take a game or two or the series from them?
It depends on a lot of things. Obviously tonight we won because we had a crazy game from Taurean Prince. We had a good game from Jalen Noel, who are making up for the production that we kind of hope, not fully, but they're making up for some of the scoring that we're lacking from Beasley. But if Beasley is unlocked going into the playoff series, I think that opens up so much for Ant. That opens so much for Cat and even D'Lo. If you have 4 people on the court like that, like you're gonna win games. There's no way you're not gonna win games if all 4 of those players are on the same court at the same time. And Malik is not being as bad as he has been. We can maybe talk about this after the tier list, but the one thing that I keep going off on is like, you do not want to be in the 7th through 10th seed. Not to say that we can't win a play-in series, but like I much more like our chances in a 7-game series, like an actual 7-game series, even if it's against a fully healthy Utah team or a fully healthy any other team. I would just feel better about that, because I don't trust ourselves to get out of a play-in series, even though being in the 7 or 8 seed is a huge advantage to being in the 9 or 10 seed. I finally looked it up and figured out how it all works. It's very confusing, but basically if you're a 7 or 8 seed, you play each other, and if you win, you're in. You play the 7th or the 2nd seed. If you lose, you play the winner of 9-10, and then you play, and if you win that, then you play against the 1 seed and then go into that. But either way, I don't want to worry about 1 important game or 2 important games. I want to just be in a series. And man, being the 6th seed would just be so huge, not only for just like playoff chances, like winning a series maybe, but just for confidence boost going into the next season, because I don't think any of us here are really like, this is a finals competing team. Like if we made it to the finals, that would be insane. We would be on the floor. We may not even be alive because we'd be laughing. So
we would be dead.
It would be insane. So like if we can make it to the 6th seed, that is a huge win for the Timberwolves this year.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I don't know. Timberwolves Dailies, aka TD, abbreviation, talked about like wanting us to get to the 6th seed, and the 6th seed is potentially a 43 to 46 kind of win like output. Can we get to 43 wins? That's a 20 plus win jump from last season. we are already exceeding our expectations and the expectations from like, the Vegas odds and whatever. Our output is much better than what they expected. So 40 wins is expected, and now we are laying the foundation of like growth and progression for next year, the year after. But like this year feels like a palpable time to kind of grab that fucking 6th seed and to see how far we can go, because that is going to be huge for the growth of this team. If we go into the play-in, we get out, that would suck. And if we come out of the play-in and we play the Golden State Warriors or the Phoenix Suns, guess who's not going to be on our side? The whole country, the whole world. Like, who cares about us?
Yeah.
And you know what? Shout out to whoever that was.
I
was able to quote his thing, and couldn't. You were too quick.
Yeah, but yeah, no. Unfortunately, it's on the screen, so don't go to whatever that sister LOL website is. But yes, that brings up the point. We need moderators. Anyways, but yeah, no. I am very excited about a possibility of a 6th seed, and I want that. So, next up, who's up next? Jalen Noel. Are you ready to? Oh wait, did we do? What was the Discord's grade on Beasley?
Yeah, D, D and C. So C and D. What up? Shout out to you.
Yes, C and D. All right. Well, next up, let's do Jalen. So Jalen had 10 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists, 4 of 8 shooting. And that's about it. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think we may be a little different on this.
Maybe 3, 2, 1. C.
B. Oh, cool. I won't be talking here first, but here I am talking first. Go ahead. To you, Cameron.
Well, the only reason I say C is because this is kind of, I guess, what I'm starting to hope for out of him now. I like 10 points is nothing crazy, but also it's great production for somebody that maybe we weren't expecting much from going into the season. But I guess on a nightly basis, 10 points, 5 assists on a night where we don't have a D'Lo or a Pat Bev, I'd kind of expect that. So that would be my expectation. Given, I am in love with Jalen Noel lately because, he just is exciting to watch. I'm excited to see him come out on the floor. And like we even saw a lob alley-oop dunk tonight from him, so that was cool. I think this was a C game from him, maybe C plus, but maybe you'll convince me to a B.
Yeah, I'll probably convince you to a B. The game was kind of hanging in the balance in that early stages of the first quarter where you weren't really even doing anything. He comes in, you're excited to see him in. Mm-hmm. He gets an instant 2 points. He gets an instant trip to the line, and we're back in the game. We're taking that lead. And 10 points are 10 points, but the way he got his 10 points were way more instrumental. And then he wasn't really needed. Then he wasn't facilitated as much to like take his time, because then the game was kind of running through Cat in the third quarter. Then the game was kind of running through a couple Anthony Edwards drives and chucks. So like it wasn't needed for Noel to come in, but he's ready. He was thrown to the Wolves literally at starting point guard and like kind of shat the bed a bit, coming back to the bench, reverting back to his role, kind of being like ping-ponged around his final form or whatever, and he's taken it in stride. He's fine with it, and he looked great. I think his role is 6th man off the bench. Jim Peterson was talking about how he needs to really look at Jordan Clarkson, kind of emulate some of his next evolutionary traits based on what Jordan Clarkson has been able to do in his career, and that'd be fantastic for us if we get some big swing points from him, because he's kind of consistently getting to 10 15 points now, and it's like remarkable to see on great efficiency. When he's not, like, you can feel it, but he's been really much on for the latter parts of the season so far. And the Discord said B, so you wrong.
You in the Discord have convinced me.
Yeah,
and he is now a B for tonight. Congrats, Noel. All right. Next up, Jaden McDaniels, what was it? TNT said Jalen McDaniels, but Jaden McDaniels, he had, where is his stats? They're insane, right? Yeah, 22 points.
22 points. What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? 4 assists, 2 rebounds. What? He was 9 of 9 shooting.
Yeah, man.
3 from 3. He had 4 personal fouls, but he was a team high plus 24. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm ready. You probably have to shift your grade here.
I
You
think-
were off this train for majority of the season. Coming into the offseason, you were like, you know what? We could spare ourselves this player. However, tonight, your grade is in 3, 2. It doesn't even matter if you're ready or not.
I'm
1. A1.
A1. Yep. I was
There
gonna
it
say
is.
it. This is a
Best
great
performance from him, and he was all over the court. He had his own drive, and it wasn't like a quirky Jaden drive. It was a under the basket kind of like reverse layup. That was insane. He had a couple ferocious, emotionless dunks. It was something that I expected. Honestly, I expected a game like this from him. I just didn't know when, because he had been struggling, adjusting to his role, his lack of minutes, his lack of like ability to play because he gets touch fouls here and there. And the refs helped him out a little bit by giving him some reign to play a little bit more. And he took advantage of it and didn't miss a shot.
That's insane. I didn't even realize it. Like, I realized he made lots of shots tonight, but then I saw 20 points or 22 points, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. And then I just now realized that it was 100%. That's insane. So
yeah, he was 100% tonight.
Yeah, no, I'm not allowed to have any Jaden slander tonight. So no, he was great tonight.
What are your what are your Windows Concepts, aka JJ Creates, takes on the idea that he could be Minnesota's version of Scottie Pippen?
There's no slander tonight, so I feel like I should decline to comment.
I decline to comment. Are you on ESPN the trade machine right now, just like looking at max value?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Just like
I think another team would love Jaden McDaniels.
Man, I don't know, man. We got our Jordan in Edwards. We got our Rodman and Vando. We got our Pippen and McDaniels.
I will say
we got our Luke Longley and Towns.
The one thing that I do like about Jaden is that like he is a quality defender. That is something that the Timberwolves have just not had. Even though he is so skinny, he is so long and capable of defending like any position, basically.
1 through 5.
So it's exciting to have a player like that, and I do think that his defense is consistent. Obviously, we do not expect 22 points from Jaden on a nightly basis. Obviously, that would be amazing, but that is not going to happen. And if it does, I will gladly do anything that chat says. But obviously, we're more expecting the Ant, the Cat, the D-Lo, even Beasley to be scoring the 20 points a night. So,
yeah, Frank Barbieri says Beasley, Steve Kerr. See, we got the Bulls, man.
Yeah.
Bulls 2022.
There we go. All right.
Or 2.0 or whatever the fuck. And the Discord said A1 and a little A and a splash of B.
Interesting. Okay.
The B is a little confusing.
Well,
I don't want to highlight and target and call anyone out. But
there were 2 Bs?
There was 1 B.
Well, because if there's 1, that's just like the control, right?
Nah, it says 2.
Oh, okay, I see.
There was 1.
Oh, was it?
And you're free to change it if you want, my friend.
I didn't do it.
No.
Oh,
someone else did.
Okay, I was like, wait a second. Okay, next, where are we? Vando V8. Vanderbilt had.
I noticed that we don't have Prince in here.
Yeah, we don't. We should. Do you want to add Prince tonight?
I would like to add Prince tonight.
Yes, let me find Prince. Here he is. All right, let's do Prince before Vando. So
it better be like Ed Davis or something.
Yeah, no. Oh. Oh God.
Those are good times. Those are good times. Jared Culver.
Yeah. I do have Jared Culver down there. But anyways, so Taurean Prince had 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals. He was 4 of 5 shooting. He was electric out there tonight. I guess that's leading on to what his grade's going to be. But are you ready for a grade?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I am ready too. 3, 2, 1, A.
A. Yeah. You know what? I don't even want you to ask me if I'm ready or not. Just start the countdown.
Okay.
We could clip like 30 seconds off this podcast
So,
if we like stop saying that.
The thing is that for me, I just like I'll just say nothing and it'll be awkward. But
I mean, then we can get clipped and we can.
That's true.
Boost our followers.
Exactly.
Look at that Cameron guy not saying anything.
every time, everything. I just wait until you say it. It's like those TikTok. Okay.
Best game of the season for Mr. Torian Prince. The Prince Whisperer himself, JJ Curates, was saying, "This is insane. This is what I expected. I expected kind of games like this from him. This is what we wanted from him at the offseason signing. What an insane signing from us, picking him in the offseason and like having our preseason look like, oh my God, this is actually a Prince that we need, like a savior off our bench, a role player that cares and wants to like rejuvenate his career. Like, feels awesome." He's one of the older guys. He gets it. Like, his role is going to be diminished when he's not performing. He gets it. He's been underperforming every step of the way. Dude, he had so much emotion on the court tonight.
Yeah.
And like, he gave a shit. He cared so much. He had a couple costly, like, they coughed up some turnovers and some loose balls or whatever. 7 rebounds is nothing to sweat. Like, nothing to like scoff at. Like, it's incredible for a dude that, like, you know, is not really expected to do anything but shoot threes and play a little bit of D.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I loved his energy out there tonight. Like, he had this one like quick like no look shovel pass to, I don't even remember who, but it was for a driving layup or dunk, and it was just like a different person out there tonight, and I loved it. And that's what we need from a Torian Prince, especially on nights where like Beasley isn't performing as well, you know. So if we have a Torian Prince step in there, and I've like over the last like 5 to 10 games, I've been really liking Torian. Just something about his energy. Obviously, production-wise and stats tonight, he was great. 10.7 rebounds and the steals. But you know, just his energy on the court, his eagerness to take shots, and make shots, was much needed. And
what up, Chilinga?
Yeah. Hey,
it was the Jaden for the slam.
We were just
the
talking
emotionless
about
champ.
you guys. You guys were stalking me at the game, and then we said, you got to come on the show. We'll just add 2 more boxes in here, and you guys can join us. But I appreciate
that picture that the picture that they threw up on Twitter was of the We Have the Threes progress bar.
I know.
Progress sandwich bar. We got them.
We did get them, and there were free tickets that I put out on our Twitter and in our Discord that you could get from Arby's for lower level. Level.
What a community savant you are.
What a community savant. Everybody praise me. Anyways.
The real nugget here is like that energy in that first quarter, that first 6 minutes sucked. And then it was that like kind of like hockey change lineup where we got Prince in, we got McDaniels in, we got Noel in. And it was, Noel maybe scoring a little bit, Jaden getting a 3 or whatever in a dunk. But Prince was actually like the starter of all of that. He like said, this is a different tone for this. We are not going to lose this game. And I thought that I saw it, I felt it, and I was like kind of singing his praise. So really cool to see. And the chat, the Discord also agrees with us. An A for Torian Prince.
Good. All right. Well, now we're on to Vando. So Vando, he had 5 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. What am I saying? 5 points, 9 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks. He was only 2 of 8 shooting. Didn't have any personal fouls though, which is pretty impressive. I guess not really that impressive since there weren't that many actual bigs in the game. But but either way, he was a +8 on the night. Are you ready to grade Vando?
Yeah,
all right.
Sure.
3, 2, 1, B.
B. Yeah. That's all that's got to be said.
Yep.
Jared Vanderbilt tonight, or Vanderbilt. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Other than, who was he guarding tonight? Like, it was Bogdan, it was Bogey, it was Mike Conley, it was Rudy Gay, it was all sorts of random, like, I will say, junk on the Jazz roster. It was weird. Like, they're not bad. I'm sorry, that was weird. That was mean, and I apologize. Forgiveness, but it wasn't like that all-star player that he has to stop. And so it was kind of like a game that he's just there doing his will, and we're not really paying as much attention to him because he's not the one who's like bringing us back into the game. We are already trying to like build a lead with him involved. There was a killer play where he had that block and pass back to a fast break point opportunity, and that was like in essence like what he is as a player. It was really great to see.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I love having Vando out there. Tonight wasn't necessarily his like most insane game, but he is still just a huge asset for us and somebody that we absolutely need on the court to win games. So C&D show up in here. What do I press? You press the like button, you press subscribe, and you press that share button. Also, you press join the Discord so that we can have a show together and
Do it.
talk about the inevitable next game where we lose and go under 500 again. But yes, hit us up. By the way, the DMs are open. Actually, I'll DM you after this. So,
Yep. And I'll just paste it in chat.
please do. Yes, perfect.
There it is.
All right. Next up, we've got. Let's actually no. We're gonna save Cat for last. So we'll do Ant first. So
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards had kind of a pedestrian night. 15 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal. He was only 6 of 16 shooting. Did have 5 turnovers as well, but he was out there the most, so he's a plus 15. But yeah, are you ready to grade Anthony Edwards?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I am. Okay.
Sounds convincing.
2, 1, C.
C. Yeah, and it might have been a D,
Yeah.
but we won, and we didn't actually need him, and he didn't get in the way of Cat in the second half. That was important. In fact, he didn't get in the way of anyone in the second half. He got 3 points, and then he was put on the bench. I think he was benched early in the third. I think he was he sat early when we were up like 20 or something. That was pretty cool. And then he had a lot of energy on the bench. That was cool to have him just watch him kind of just be himself or whatever on the bench. That was fun. 6 for 16 is okay, not great.
Yeah.
15 points from our future All-Star / MVP / back Jesus is not great. But in a game where you took what the offense and the defense was giving you, you were maybe chucking a little bit too much for our tastes. And we noticed that that first 6 minutes, even though we weren't doing anything, those drives that you were trying were why we need you on a daily basis. Those drives will perform and will give us this huge opening for a potential playoff berth. When you are downhill, it opens the whole entire offense for us.
Yes, and driving, I think something that maybe Ant is learning is that driving doesn't mean you always have to go for a layup or a dunk or a score. You can pass the ball, and I think if he learns to pass more out of those situations, which he did occasionally tonight, I think that is exactly like you're saying. What's going to open up the entire offense for everybody. It gives the Cat the opportunity to shoot more from range, which is his specialty, and not have to be in the post. I think that's huge. And tonight was not a great night, and I do agree. I do think that it was borderline D material tonight, but I do think the first half of the game we did have a pretty good showing defensively, but then it kind of waned throughout the game. He was showing that same activity level that he did when he was talking about first team all defense kind of stuff. But it waned, and we had a lot of those kind of the junk that you say on the Utah Jazz. They kind of went off on us. Looking at their stats, we had Bogdanovich, who is a Timberwolves killer, have 23. Mike Conley is not. Obviously he's one of their stars, but 22 points. And then Clarkson just killing us, 17 points. So they had still those performances, which is concerning given they didn't have Mitchell, they didn't have Gobert, so they could have had a lot more help. But we could have too with D'Lo and Pat Bev. So all those arguments can be made, but I think tonight Ant was okay, but not great. So, but yeah, C&D show says Wancho couldn't even make his own tier. Yeah, unfortunately, he is permanently in Glenn Taylor tier. But Beasley for Wancho straight up who says no. Honestly, at this point,
no, don't even try.
I'm entertaining the thought, but
let's not even.
All right. Well, we're on to the star of the night, Karl Anthony triple-double Towns. He had 31 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals. He was 10 of 17 shooting, 3 of 4 from 3. Only had 3 personal fouls, and only had 1 turnover. Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, A1.
A1. Yeah. A little surprised at me saying A1 because 31 and 10 or 31 and 11 is solid, but he came to play for the second half and maybe second half only. But his energy, his defense in the first half was great. Nothing was really handled in the paint. Like we weren't getting out hustled or we weren't getting like out driven, and like he wasn't in foul trouble. His defense was solid, right? Um, Second half, he just came alive offensively and took the game over. And we aren't winning anything in the NBA without him. Like, let's look at the trade machine. Let's try to find trades for him. We're not going to get a value that's 80% at best for Karl Anthony Towns at his worst, honestly. And that's kind of the reality that is sinking in here is we have someone we just need to kind of curate and build with and like welcome all of his flaws and take it for what it is. And we'll have nights like this on occasion and really reins in why this guy is like a top tier player in the NBA, potential all-star of the season. Incredible game, best game of the season for him.
I agree with everything you said. I mean, obviously, we are very critical of Towns on this show,
Yeah.
for good reason. I mean, he's the star of the team, you know. And tonight was a night where he performed in every way imaginable. And you know, this is what we want out of him. Like we said, not triple double every single game, but like we want this level of effort. We want this level of mindfulness during the game. Not arguing calls, you know, very level headed out there. That doesn't mean you can't be excited or things like that. But also, you know, to me, what I felt from him tonight on the court was like something that I feel like I don't see very often is acting like you've been there. You know,
Yeah.
and you know he went like he was hitting all those shots in a row. Where you know previously last season or even earlier this season he would be celebrating and we'd be like beating up on like the Pelicans or something like that and then losing to the Pelicans. But you know he did that and like he was just very calm about it. Like sure he was having a little bit of celebratory moments, but it was never like it wasn't the same. It was more of like I'm playing like this is my job. I'm playing basketball and I am going to win this game. And that's what it felt like to me from tonight. It was winning the game until we were up 20 and he was trying to get his last assist for the triple double, but whatever. I'll give him that. That's fine. So no, I this was a great game for Cat. That shouldn't be a triple double. Stop this deal. But yeah, no, this is a great game from Cat, and I just can't, you know, there was nothing bad about the game that he had tonight.
Yeah. We're 500. It's like we haven't done anything this season. We started the season 500 as well. I will say that was a joke and it was a bad one. I've seen tremendous growth from this team, and down a man, down a couple men, we can fold early. We can fold with a 10 and 20 point lead, a deficit. And what I've learned in this season is that I don't think we give up. I don't think we throw in the towel. I don't think we have a 0% chance of winning games. I think there's moments where we're going to hit hot and we're going to get those nights where we're going to go like 60% from three, and that's going to be baller. But then like when the three's not falling, we have other weapons and we have the ability to drive with 2 or 3 players. We have apparently Jaden as well. And, you know, we have all sorts of weapons that we're just like slowly tapping in. We haven't had chances to practice. We haven't had chances to like fix Beasley's shot. It's just watching film. How much is film like really adapting and absorbing into production in the next game? It's all about maintenance and conserving and recovery and keeping these bodies fresh and healthy for a large portion of the season where we have no time to practice. We're going to have time to practice during the All-Star break. Yeah. That sucks. We're actually going to be like, I don't know, Bahama Wolves or something in the All-Star break or something, right? So we have to find time in between the margins. We don't have time off. So it's like, we need a team. We are a team that needs practice much more than the Warriors, much more than like the Miami Heat or whatever. They're just like waiting for the season to end, right? Like they are just like waiting. So we can't really implement things. And we are just kind of working on instincts, working on improvisation almost on the fly. And so to see games like this, where we just are doing the foundational things to win the game, means a lot to me as a fan, because it's like, now I can start to trust you just like that 5%, 10% more when we come into the next game. It's like, we saw this, let's build on this.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is going to be a season where we learn as we go. And if we can, we've stayed 500 this whole season, which is pretty incredible. I mean, the season started rough. We were 4-9, but you know, like you said, we haven't given up. And I do think that this is a team where, like, you know, there's been those moments, and I think the Timberwolves fandom in me, where I've been through the seasons where it's like, oh, we're 16-66, or we're 20-62, or whatever it is, like we've been through that. So we have these games where we lose the games that we feel like we should have won, and it's frustrating. And I kind of go into apocalyptic trade everyone mode, even just after like one loss. But we have shown time and time again this season that if we go one game below 500, we're coming right back and we're going to win a game. So it does, like you said, give that little bit of trust. And that's why I think, going off of what we were talking about earlier, if we can really pull together here, get a good little stretch of games, it doesn't have to be like a 5-game winning streak or anything, just like enough to go a few games above 500. Like let's say we were like 3 or 4 games, maybe even 5 games by the end of next month above 500. That would be incredible. That would be a pretty good run, I guess. But like just having a little bit of breathing room so that you don't have to have that kind of narrative in your head of, oh God, we're a 500 team, would not only help you going into the playoffs, just mindset wise, it would help you with your actual playoff seeding, because then you're likely to be like 6th or higher, which is just huge. So
yeah, it's kind of a bloodbath at the 6th spot too. Like Denver's winning, Dallas is winning, Utah's kind of falling, but I don't know how far they're going to fall because they're going to get their guys back. So it's going to be kind of a mix, and like you might have to have like 8 or 9 games over 500 to be that 6th seed. So can that be us? I don't know. We're up against Denver. We're up against Detroit a couple times, and I don't know who else. Sacramento a couple times. These are games that we must win. So this is this is what we're talking about right now.
And just like
let's get over 500 right now.
Exactly. Like this was a game where we maybe expected some other players to be in, like Gobert, and like for the Jazz to have their coach and stuff like that. But like this was a game where we were kind of worried about winning because we're playing obviously a team that's better than us when fully healthy, or at least is in the standings. So this was kind of like I hope we can win. And so we've taken advantage of the situation where they were injured. Now we're going into that stretch of games where it's like Detroit, Sacramento, where you can't take this game and be like, well, we beat the Jazz, so we can now kind of take a night off against it. Like, no, we need to be pedal to the metal. Like, there is no breaking. Now, we do play the Nuggets on Tuesday, but then after that is that stretch of Pistons, Kings, and right there, that is the chance to put yourself in that situation that I was talking about, 3 to 5 games above 500, because then you have breathing room going into like, I think we play Chicago. Yeah, we play Chicago, and then we play, which I guess they're also injured, So we've got a good stretch of games coming, and then we're also going to have the All-Star break. So there's a chance, but right now we're 3.5 games behind the 5th and 6th seed. And the Utah's the 4th seed right now, and we're 4.5 games behind them. So we're close. And if we can take advantage of these next few games, we could really be in the hunt for good seeding for the playoffs, obviously. And to be honest, like, it doesn't even necessarily matter so much to me if we're like the 5th or 6th or whatever, because I guess being 4th would be good because you'd have some home field or home court advantage or whatever. But like 5th or 6th, like, we're going to be playing the same level of team. I don't really want to be playing the Grizzlies. I don't really want to be playing the Jazz, any of the good teams, because they're good, So, but I do think it would be beneficial to avoid Phoenix and Golden State, because those teams are just too clicking right now. I think you give yourself a chance at winning a playoff series if you're going up against that Memphis, Utah, Denver type of team. So, yeah, exciting. But
it is exciting. It's exciting to like finally care about a team for a while. Like, it's been like I've been rooting for like some potential. And like, well, some of the potential is somewhat starting to arrive, and we can see some of the pieces falling into place. And maybe over achieving players have made us a better team to swallow than like in previous years. But like, fuck yeah, let's overachieve. Let's be better than what we were expecting and what other people were expecting. And like, this is going to be like, if we can really cement ourselves into the playoff race, like this could be like a Phoenix type of rise where we got like momentum on our favor, and then could we get an off season where, look at this team on the rise, we get some sort of player to push us over the top. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. And you want to be in a good space going into the playoffs, even if you don't make it deep in the playoffs, because no player that is contemplating a new team to join is like, you know what? I want to join the 11 seed. They're like that. They're not thinking I can make that 11 seed a 3 seed. They're thinking I can make that 6 seed a 4 seed. They're thinking I can make that team just good enough to start getting home court advantage or start getting like guaranteed playoffs and really building something. And that's what's exciting to me. And maybe what I'll kind of end on tonight is like the last game, everybody was really down. I know. After I can't remember if it was the Golden State or the Suns game. One of them, people were really down after, and I wasn't really that down because like maybe I'm just looking at it as season perspective because like I'm not expecting to beat Phoenix or Golden State because they're just so good right now. And for me, if we're playing 25 and 25, I'm more than happy as a Timberwolves fan because that has not happened. That only year that's happened in my fandom is, I guess there's probably been 2. There's been the Jimmy Butler year, which was just boring, terrible basketball to watch. I really didn't enjoy it. And then there was one year with like Kevin Love where it went like 40 and 42. So yeah. That's really the only success that I've seen from the Timberwolves. So for me, like I am ready to see something that I care about, and right now we're at that point. 500 basketballs, all I ask for coming into the season in our season preview, and so far it's been that. So and we've even been through injuries, we've been through COVID stuff, so I'm feeling pretty good, and the team gives me enough to look forward to. And I mean, obviously after the wins we're pretty high, and we're talking like 6 or 5 seed, but after the losses we're talking about the inevitable like 9 or 10.
Rebuild, so. Yeah.
But yeah, we have another Russian bot in the chat.
Dude, you made it when.
Yeah. We must be hitting some For You page or something.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, did you have any final thoughts before we end this hour-long
No, we got another one.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Perfect.
Let's go.
All right.
Like, subscribe, bought us.
Yes, bought us, please.
Yes, hack the crap out of us.
Well, we will be back.
Dare you?
Well, I don't know. I am going to the game on Tuesday night. I will probably be available for a show after Tuesday night, but we can kind of talk about what we are available.
We'll do a show on Tuesday night.
Sounds good. So we'll do a show on Tuesday night. Probably be like it was tonight, obviously a little bit later. We'll let TD, Timberwolves Daily, do their show, and then we'll be on after.
Yeah, we're the late show.
We are the late show. So
we're Carson Daly.
Show. What did they just put in the chat? I can't. I have to like figure out what this is. Let's see. Translate. Auto detect. What are they saying? They said, "Long live Putin." Oh my god.
We'll end on that.
We will end on "Long live Putin."
Hey, thanks for joining, everyone. All a dozen of you. That was awesome to see, and really fun discussion in chat tonight. I couldn't enjoyed a game more than that. Yeah, it was great.
And join the Discord because we have the same conversation all day long, all night long. So, but yeah, how long after the games do you usually start the live? Good question. So it's all over the place, but
it's all over the place.
Typically like 30-ish minutes, 30 to 45 minutes, somewhere in that range. So gives you time to like get some food and run to the bathroom, watch Timberwolves Daily. I think that's pretty much when we do it. So anyways, enough babbling from me. I appreciate, just like Ashwin said, I appreciate everybody who stopped by tonight. It's fun to have a lot of people in chat and participating in the Discord as well. We will be back on Tuesday night after we play the Nuggets. And then we'll be very excited about the tantalizing schedule that lies ahead of that with Pistons, Kings. So we will see you Tuesday night, as always. Intro as the outro. We'll see you Tuesday night.